So we've seen the scenes in the Dáil. The Dáil was suspended a good few times today in trying to elect a new government, particularly a Taoiseach, was the first matter at hand. Letting no one elect the government, they'd elect the Taoiseach first and then the government. Nothing was achieved, pretty much, what I'm trying to say. And it all boils down to this. Michael Lowry, the independent Ouija group, pretty much, was that's going in with Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. And as you know, Michael Lowry is if you look back and you look at the Manhattan Tribunal, etc., etc., there's a lot of references to him and money and Bertie Ahern, etc., etc. So straight away, there's red flags all over the place why he has a central role in all this, because he does, he truly does. Why that fella is still in politics, not in a prison cell, is beggars belief. But that's the country you live in. Crooked systems just fucked. Excuse my language, but that's just as straight up. But yeah, so pretty much there was no government elected, there was no Taoiseach elected, there was no CL handed over by the president, etc., etc. So pretty much we're in the same situation. The Dáil was suspended many times, and the reason why is because, as I said just by Michael Allen, the Weeder Independent Group, apparently they can split themselves in half. So basically they can sit on the government side and they can sit on the opposition side. So pretty much they can split themselves in two. Now, it's ludicrous. It's generally ludicrous. And I say this, and I think everybody would agree with me. Either you're on the government side or you're on the opposition side. Pick one of the two. There's not one in the middle. And, I think Michael Lowry and the regional independents, to be totally honest, I think they're trying to fool the people. That's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to fool people that voted for them. Because I know for myself, if I voted for an independent, I'm not voting for Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, for them to go into a Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. To be totally honest. And I think everybody would agree with me. Why would you vote? You might as well vote Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael at that stage. Because a lot of people voted independents because they were sick of Fianna Fáil, they were sick of Fine Gael, and they wanted rid of them. And that's the reason why they voted independents, and the independents were in with them. Which they shouldn't have done, to be totally honest. They shouldn't have done it, because Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael destroying the country. We see it every day. I don't have to go into all the details, we know ourselves. Look around you and see all the devastation that these crowd have caused. But long story short, the biggest issue is about that, pretty much. And I do agree with that. It's pretty much making a mockery of democracy in a way too. And the parliament system and the people, let alone the Irish public, is making little of them. That's what I think it is. And I think that sends a clear message that it is making little of people. Because you either sit in the opposition or you sit in the government. And they should be sitting in the government because they're part of the government, as simple as that. And especially the next bit too, they're taking the opposition's time, Sinn Féin, the Labour Party, Social Democrats. Even though I don't like the Social Democrats, I don't like Sinn Féin, I don't like the Labour Party, but still at the end of the day, they're elected by the people of Ireland to ask questions of the government. They are the opposition parties. They're entitled to ask questions. The people have voted them in. Even though I don't like them, they're still entitled to have their opinion, have their voices heard. That's democracy, simple as that. And the fact of the matter that a government, the so-called independents, can take the opposition time, take for example, independent or real independents that are questioning the government. They can take that time off the opposition to basically ask their own crowd about simple, small, simple questions, how great they are, etc., etc. Because it's lunacy. It's truly lunacy. And to be totally honest with you, this is the next thing. I even said this before it happened, that there was going to be a big rigmarole over this, and there was going to be a big rigmarole, and that's what happened today. But they had so many, that literally weeks, they sat down their arse for so long, for 3 weeks, they could have all sorted this out since the Cam Colla was elected. They could have sorted this out a long time ago, and particularly now I talk about Fiona Murphy, because she has a role to play in this too. But they should have sorted it out, because I'm sure to God they knew people weren't happy with it. The Irish public are not happy with it, the politicians, the opposition are not happy with it. You think they would have probably said, we probably should sort this out before the Dáil comes back. We had lots of time, because they got a lot of holidays. Like, they got an insane amount of holidays, and then they're going off now and they elect the Taoiseach and government. They're going to take 2 weeks holidays again, because why not? We took a month, we take another 2 weeks, and then St. Patrick's Day come along and then we're on holidays again, because why not at this stage? We might as well stay on holidays. They'd be like Joe Biden. But yeah, throwing them off for the Cam Colla, as you know, she's not only recently the Cam Colla. She was only there for 15 minutes as the Cam Colla today. The Dáil was suspended twice, etc., etc. The last time was fully suspended tomorrow. And it's probably going to be a big uproar tomorrow, because there will be a big uproar, because it really is a mockery of democracy, in my opinion. And not only that, it's a mockery of the Irish people. That's what I deem it as. Because it goes beyond that. It's the fact of the matter, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael don't care for the Irish people. So I think that's the above all. They don't care. They just want to smoke and mirrors, pretty much, pretend that they care. And the same with these independents. They don't care about the Irish people. The Irish people didn't elect them to go in with Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. I didn't elect Fiona Murphy or any of them, or with Mikey Healy-Rae or Danny Healy-Rae. I'm sure they didn't elect them to say go in with Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, that's destroying the country already. And take for example just Mikey Healy-Rae, just before going to Fiona Murphy, they were always jumping up and down by the carbon tax, and that's still in place, so double touch pretty much. But yeah, Fiona Murphy was obviously the Cam caller. She's there. She can't keep control of the Dáil. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think she's lost confidence in the Irish people. But by her performance today, particularly the last performance, she pretty much was up the government's hole. Now, she is a part of the government, but she was up the hole pretty much. Excuse my language, but in the nicest possible terms, that's pretty much what you say. Because you can see the opposition standing up, raising objections, points of order in the standing orders of the Dáil. A member of the parliament is allowed to stand up and say, I disagree with this, I want this to be addressed, or this. That's what points of order is for. And technically the Cam caller should listen to that member of parliament and address their point of order, because it's relevant to the proceedings of the Dáil that people can raise points of order and issues, etc., etc. Fiona Murphy didn't do that. She looked the other side. She was too busy looking at the government, because that's what she is. She's pretty much the government. And as Cam Caller, speak of any house, you should be politically neutral. You're part of the government, but you're supposed to treat everybody the same. You give the opposition the same time as the government. You don't favour anybody. And pretty much it's just shown, in my opinion, if you look at the last video of the Dáil before it was adjourned for tomorrow, it 100% shows that she's pretty much biased to the government. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind now. I was willing to give her a chance, but there's no doubt in my mind she'd be literally taken up for the government, defending the government nearly, to be told. Nearly she was out of her way to defend him today. But yeah, I don't think she should be Campola. I think we have to look into that. People have to speak about that, because I think she's lost the confidence of the Irish people with her performance today. And not only that, the farce that turned into the thing. Because again, this should have been addressed. And again, she had for a week or two known about this. She could have addressed it. What I would have done as Cam Cole before the Dáil even went in today, I would have said sit in the government side because you're part of the government. Simple as that. That would have solved the whole issue. Because that's literally the logical conclusion here. Why would you sit on the opposition bench if you're part of the government? It doesn't make any sense. You're trying to fool people. That's the only explanation I can get. Because what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to... Because you are an independent, but you're pretty much off Fianna Gael and Fianna Fáil in disguise. You're claiming to be an independent, because no independent is going with Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael. If you call yourself an independent and do that, then you're not an independent, to put it nicely to you. You've lost any saying of independency. But we see what happens. But it was a farce. Loads of people around the world will be talking about it. We have pretty much embarrassed ourselves too, as a country too, in terms of that. But it just goes to show you that it's not a good start. This is the main thing. It's not a good start for the government. Fianna Fáil, Fianna Gael, again, it's just they're barely holding on, to be totally honest. Even though they've done well in the elections and stuff like that, they're barely holding on, because it's pretty much one of the same, a rotten structure pretty much underneath. It's pretty much a rotten system, rotten structure, that it's nearly past the time to bring down the rotten structure, to be totally honest. But unfortunately, Irish people didn't vote for that, but hopefully, please God, in the next election that will happen. Because it just shows plainly today. Shows evidently today. But again, pretty much, hopefully this doesn't turn into all yet, because we need our parliament. As I say, members of the public have elected these people to Dáil Éireann to represent the people of Ireland. They're there to do a job, done hundreds and thousands and thousands a year, multi-billionaires, majority of them. They're there to do a job. They should be doing their job. Irish people have to go out every day and work. They don't get the luxury of take a month holiday and take another 2 weeks. They don't get the luxury of that, and full expenses, etc., etc. But yeah, let me know what you think. We see what happens, but we'll be live in a few minutes if anybody's watching this when the about to go live. Thank you.